The conference room in our sleek Chicago office smelled of fresh coffee and ambition, but the air was thick with betrayal. I sat across from my boss, Gregory Hammond, his polished smile barely masking the smugness in his eyes. "Only the brilliant deserve to rise, Laura," he said, leaning back in his chair. "Your little project idea? It's mine now." I presented it to the board, and they loved it. VP of Marketing is in the bag. My heart sank, but I kept my face neutral. "Are you sure you can live with that claim?" I asked, voice steady. He nodded, oblivious to the storm brewing. "Absolutely," he said. He had no idea what was coming. I'm Laura Mitchell, 32, a marketing strategist at Pinnacle Advertising, a firm dominating Chicago's ad scene. For months, I'd poured my soul into a groundbreaking campaign for our biggest client, a sustainable energy startup. My idea, a viral social media blitz tied to community-driven green initiatives, was a game changer. I'd shared it with Gregory in a one-on-one, trusting his mentorship. Big mistake. 2 days ago, I overheard him pitching my concept to the CEO, claiming every detail as his own. Now, he was dangling my work as his ticket to a corner office. The sting of his betrayal cut deep. I'd spent years at Pinnacle, clawing my way up from junior copywriter, enduring late nights, and Gregory's condescending feedback. He'd always taken credit for small wins, but this was different. This was my career-defining moment, stolen without a second thought. I wanted justice, not just for the campaign, but for every underdog he'd trampled. "You'll get a nice bonus as my assistant," he'd added, tossing me a bone. I smiled tightly. "We'll see about that." That night, I sat in my Lakeview apartment, the city's skyline glittering outside my window. My laptop glowed with evidence, emails, drafts, even time-stamped notes from my initial brainstorming. Gregory had been sloppy, assuming I'd roll over, but I wasn't just fighting for credit. I was fighting for my place in a world that rewarded men like him. My grandmother, a fierce Chicago union organizer, used to say, "Truth is a slow burn, but it always catches." I was about to light the match. I started digging. Gregory's arrogance wasn't new. He'd built his reputation on borrowed ideas. I contacted Sarah, a former colleague who'd left Pinnacle after Gregory claimed her work. Over coffee in Wicker Park, she shared a story that mirrored mine. A stolen pitch, a forced resignation. "He's untouchable," she warned. "His buddy, Mark Reynolds, the CFO, covers for him." That was my first clue. If Gregory had allies, he also had vulnerabilities. I needed proof of his pattern. Using my admin access to the company's project management software, I found archived files from past campaigns. 3 other employees had contributed ideas Gregory later claimed. I reached out discreetly, collecting their stories. Meanwhile, I prepared a presentation of my own, reconstructing my campaign's development with undeniable evidence. Dated emails, cloud backups, even a voice memo of me pitching to Gregory. But I needed more to ensure he couldn't wiggle free. The breakthrough came unexpectedly. At a networking event in River North, I met a tech consultant who'd worked with Pinnacle's IT department. Over drinks, he mentioned a quirk in our email system. Deleted messages weren't fully purged for 30 days. With his help, off the record, I recovered an email Gregory sent to Mark gloating about taking Laura S. idea for a spin and promising Mark a cut of his bonus. It was a smoking gun. The annual board meeting was in 3 days, where Gregory would formally present his campaign. I requested a slot to present a supplementary report, claiming it was client feedback. The board, intrigued, agreed. Gregory didn't suspect a thing, too busy basking in his preemptive victory. I spent those 72 hours refining my strategy, my heart racing with equal parts fear and determination. This wasn't just about me. It was about exposing a thief who'd built his career on others' backs. The boardroom was a glass-walled fortress on the 40th floor, Lake Michigan shimmering in the distance. Gregory's presentation was flawless. My campaign repackaged with his name stamped on every slide the board clapped. Mark beamed. Then it was my turn. I stood, projector humming, and began. "This campaign," I said, "originated from months of my research." I clicked through evidence, timestamps, emails, the voice memo. Gasps rippled through the room. Gregory's face turned crimson. "And there's more," I continued, projecting the recovered email to Mark. The room went silent. Mark stammered. Gregory sputtered about misunderstandings. I turned to him, calm but unyielding. "You said only the brilliant deserve to rise. Are you retracting that now?" The board chair, a no-nonsense woman named Elaine, demanded explanations. Mark's complicity unraveled as Gregory's lies collapsed. Elaine adjourned the meeting, promising a full investigation. By week's end, Gregory was demoted, his VP dreams shattered. Mark faced an ethics probe. I was promoted to lead the campaign, with a public acknowledgement of my work. The victory wasn't just the promotion, it was watching Gregory's smug facade crumble under the weight of his own deceit. As I left the office that night, Chicago's lights reflecting off the lake, I felt my grandmother's words echo. The truth always catches. And I'd made sure it burned bright.